Hello. Kelly Bear here, going live, coming at you from London. London, UK. Because I'm aware, I think there's a London in Canada, isn't there? Is there a London, Ontario? I think. Am I remembering that correctly? Not sure. I'm just going to I'm going to commit a live chat sin, and as soon as I go live, take a bite of something to eat. I realise I'm quite hungry. A little snacky snack. But yeah. How's everyone coped after the Facebook / Instagram / WhatsApp downage? I have to admit, I didn't realise that any of those were down because I was deep in the process of wrapping orders. Hi, Rona, lovely. I saw your message on Instagram. Thanks for the link. Yeah, I was deep in the process of wrapping orders, and then I was like, oh shit, I should probably do an Instagram post on my art Instagram account, just showing, what the parcels look like, because they look so fucking cute. Let me tell you, I'm super happy with the spooky theme for my packages this month, and I need to do the promo stuff. I hate doing it, but I needed to do the promo stuff for my shop and let people know that this morning at 10 a.m, it's already gone 11:30 now, that my shop was going back on holiday mode while I processed orders. No orders came in overnight, so there was nothing to process today, which is fine. It will reopen again with another drop of pouches and accessories on Friday at the same time, 7 p.m. UK time. And then that was about 5:30, 5:45 in the evening, and I was like, oh, it's not posting, and it was saying having trouble posting your thing and can't refresh feed, and I was like, maybe it's my internet. So I tried going on my data on my phone, that didn't work, and then I went into Twitter, and everyone was saying that Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp was down. But yeah, I hadn't noticed because I was watching / listening to Critical Role whilst processing orders. So yeah, but it was really funny, like people being really arsy on Twitter about, people on Facebook coming over here to Twitter now that they don't have Facebook, or people don't understand Twitter. Twitter is very different to Facebook. And I go through phases, but for quite a long time now, I've been in the phase of I actually prefer Twitter over Facebook. That may change again at some point in the future. But yeah, I guess because I only really used Facebook for a couple of groups that I'm in, and even then I'm not in them massively, and for organising my social life and creating events, and because there's a panini and I can't go anywhere, I'm not using it for that. So I guess it's just whatever it is. It's just I prefer Twitter at the moment. Anyway, that was a ramble about nonsense. Oh, there's a bunch more of you in. I can see a Marsha. Hello, Marsha. Maharat Lenoir. Hello. Scott's here. Hello, Scott. Lovely to see you. How are you all doing? Looks like it's about to chuck it down here, actually. So I don't know if Nomi's going to get her lunchtime walk. Boo-boo. Oh, you having a snug? You having a sleepy time? You want to come say hello? Say hello. She's like, I was just resting, Mummy. Put me down. Oh, grumbly grumbles. Grumbly grumbles. But yeah, so it looks like it's about to chuck it down. What's it like where you folks are? Everyone's just saying hello to everyone else. How's people's Octobers going? Are you getting into the swing of spooky season? And enjoying using spooky decks and doing October art challenges, because that's a thing. I'm not doing an October art challenge this year. I'm doing an October tarot challenge, which is one of the things I'm going to do today on the live, which is my first. I think it's the first time I've properly thought, right, I'm going to do an Instagram tarot challenge, and I'm doing Tom Benjamin's Halloween icon Sweet Tarot challenge, probably butchering that. Apologies, Tom. But yeah, and then obviously the first time I do a tarot challenge and Instagram goes down, so I didn't get to post my one yesterday. I did do it. Obviously, I don't. That's the thing. I was like, do I post my results, my draws for the October art challenge? Drawers as in my card drawers, not my drawers as in my underwear, obviously. And I was like, well, yeah, actually, duh, isn't that like the point of it being an Instagram challenge, is that you take the bloody photo? But some of them are, they're cutting me deep, these card draws. And I did originally think about doing what I usually do, which is 3-card draw for one thing, but I'm just doing 1 card draw for this one. And then originally I was like, I'm just going to use the Halloween tarot, and I'm going to use that for the month of October, because although, you know, it's new to me, but it's not, because I've got the mini version. But I just thought, I've never worked with it for like a month straight, because usually I will use, well, I would have before I had this one. This one's newer to me. I would use this one alongside loads of my other spooky decks, like the Polkar. I'm looking over here because I've got a pile of them. Deviant Moon, Bohemian Gothic, Zombie Tarot, and so on. But I've never just sort of worked with it for a month. But I'm already like, but I want to use my other decks. So I think what I'm going to do, because it's for 31 days, obviously, because October is 31 days, I'm going to switch up my deck every 5 days. So today, being the 5th, will be the last day that I use the Halloween tarot for the draws. And then I will go on to another one, and maybe I can get you to help me pick which one I'm going to use for the following 5 days. But my draw for yesterday was the Strength card, and that was, hang on. So I've written the first week of prompts in my thing. I'll do it every 7 days. So week 1, so 4 was Bat. So yeah, Tom Benjamin's Halloween Icon Tarot Suite, and sweet as in SUITE, not sweet as in like candy. So Bat was, what can you see that others don't? And I got Strength. And I took this to mean, I've been enjoying looking at the little book. I don't often like use the little white book, but like, I was like, do you know what? Let's just go back to basics and dip into the little white book. And I was looking at what they've put for strength in this one, and it struck a chord. So let me find majors. So it says here, strength. A lion tamer has to be stronger than the lion. Now, I don't agree with animals being used in circuses, and I'm really glad that is being phased out. But this is a vintage Halloween tarot, so this was a thing that would have happened back in the early 20th century. So the gentle use of persuasion over force was the line that stuck out to me. Inner strength, quiet determination, utilizing your best instincts, but the use of gentle persuasion over force really struck a chord with me, because now I am really bad at doing this for myself when I'm in conflict with someone else. I think I get too emotional, I get too upset, I get too flustered. But when I see conflict between 2 other people and I'm not involved in it, I'm really good at mediating arguments. And this actually happened very recently on an online chat thing with a group of friends, and 2 friends had a little bit of a thing, and then a third person was a bit upset, and then it was a bit of a, and I was able to come in and help resolve the situation by talking through it and being like, okay, let's just, have a moment. I'm useless at doing this for myself. It's the weirdest thing. But there was one year, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, where I managed to stop on one occasion a full-on fight on buses. And at the end in the space of like about 5 months, and my husband and a couple of friends started calling me the bus whisperer because I managed to stop fights between passengers, arguments between passengers and the bus driver, and like all sorts of conflicts, like at least 4 times on 4 different bus journeys over the space of a number of months. It was really, really weird. managing to just like calm people down and get people to either get off the bus or get the bus driving again, or like, I don't know. So yeah, I was like, that was that one. And I haven't put this on Instagram because Instagram wasn't working when I went to bed last night, and I haven't put it up. Anyway, that's that. Is anyone else doing this one? And if so, what deck are you using and what did you get for day 4? I'm interested to find out. Let's have a look at what is going on in the chat. Not Dr. Nomi, I love her. Chappie is sending kisses. Oh, Nomi sends kisses back. Chappie is so cute. That picture you recently posted, I'm just like, oh, this little face, just too cute. I cannot. Dogs are like the best. They're just precious beans, and I love them. Sorry, I'm always going on about how much I love dogs. Like, I cry about dogs I haven't even met in real life. I'm trying to come up with a live on my birthday on Halloween. Oh, wow. You have the spookiest birthday ever. Trying to come up with ideas. Any suggestions for a spooky birthday live? No. Masha says, my October spookies have been Australian spring winds. Yes, of course, because you're t'other way around. My little dog is for sure spooked and terrified by the sounds of the wind and the slamming of the doors due to it. Bless. Poor Chappie. Yeah, we had like a really intense rainstorm come overhead last night, and actually I'm having really bad problems with lower back pain on top of a bunch of other stuff, which is keeping me awake. But then once I was awake and this storm came through, like, it was so loud, the rain, and the wind, I just couldn't get back to sleep for ages. So I can empathize with that. I'm cataloguing my entire collection, taking photos and updating my lists of decks that I have neglected lately. The last year's really. No time for a challenge. Well, that's fair enough. It sounds like you've got your plate full there, Mahara. Do you know what? Because loads of people, they keep track. Everyone keeps track of their collection if they have more than like a handful of decks, I guess, in different ways. I know some people use like apps. Some people use spreadsheets. Oh, bye, Nomi. See ya. Some people will use just a good old-fashioned, I'm going to hit myself in the face, good old-fashioned notebook. I actually use a Pinterest board. I think it's private. I have a private Pinterest board, and it has all of the decks that I have, and including Oracle, and it's all together. Oracle, Tarot, Lenormand, it's all on there. Actually, tell a lie, I haven't put on the big version of this. I haven't put the Moon Baby or the Squid Cake Marseille on it. So those are 3 decks. That's the most decks I've gotten in a while. Oh no, tell a lie, because I also got them Tarot of a Moon Garden. Oh my god. The last like couple of months, starting with the Moon Baby, are the most decks I've bought or received or been gifted in like probably in the last 3 years. Just trying to think. I bought myself the True Heart Intuitive. I got the Halloween, the Moon Garden, Moon Baby. And I was gifted the Moon Baby was a gift from my husband. The Squid Cake Marseille was a gift from Rosemary over at Good Journeys Tarot. So that's 5 decks in the space of like 2 months. That's the most, literally since the end of 2018, I think I've received in one go. Even like my birthday and Christmas, I don't think I've received that many. Anyway, I'm not showing off. Sorry, it was just a surprise when I realized that I haven't added them. So yeah, I use a Pinterest board, and then I think I've created a separate Pinterest board for decks that I'm thinking of rehoming, and then decks that have been rehomed. You know, you can create sections on Pinterest boards, or you may not, depending on if you use it or not. But I bloody love Pinterest. I've got something like 20,000. No, I don't. How many followers have I got on Pinterest? Like a ridiculous amount. I've been on Pinterest for like almost since it first started. Let's see. And it always makes me, I've got 13.4 thousand followers on Pinterest. Oh dear. So yeah. Thank you for understanding, dear Scott. I already have Air Mind, and with that extra erratically changing winds, I can't even. I know there's an app called Libib to categorize your decks, but I haven't figured it out. Yeah, I know some people use that, don't they, Scott? Maharat uses Libib, but it's not practical for my purposes. I use notes on my iPad, at the moment, but I have only around 170 decks total. Only, holy moly, I think I've got about 120 or 130, and I'm like, only 170. It's relative though, right? Because some people have like a collection of 1,000 decks or 500 decks, and to them that's not, you know, whatever floats your boat, right? Or whatever makes you happy. I get very overwhelmed by stuff. And like I said, I think if I had proper bookshelves and a nice room that I could store, or a nice space that I could store my tarot decks, I'd probably feel maybe less inclined to get rid of so many. I don't know. I go back and forwards on it. So other times I pull a deck out and I'm like, I'm going to get rid of you. And I'm like, but actually, what if I've just not worked with you enough? There are some decks I definitely want to get rid of, and I have known for ages. I just haven't got around to it. Anyway, waffle. Playing cards, no tarot and oracle, all the things. Oh, it's a mixture of everything. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I'm like 120, 130. That's tarot, oracle, Lenormand. I don't really have any playing card decks. I always end up, I get playing cards, and then I always end up either losing them because I take them on holiday, like to cottage holidays, and I accidentally leave them at the cottage or at a friend's house or to parties, or I like use them for like what do you call it, craft projects. I'm like, oh, I need a playing card. Oh, I'll just get that. And then once you've taken a card out, well, then you might as well just put the whole pack in your crafting box. I've also got a giant playing card deck that I've been using in my craft projects as well, which is nearly all used up, actually. I keep all mine, but I don't have a lot. I like the Abyss. That's my new one. Is that the one by... oh my God. My brain has drawn a blank. What's her name, Rona? Oh, my God. Artist. I like follow her on Twitter and everything. My brain is drawing a blank. You know the one though, right? So anyway, no one else doing the Tom Benjamin Tarot Challenge? Is anyone doing any October Tarot Challenge? Anatorian, yes, of course. How annoying that my brain just couldn't like recall that at the top of my head, off the top of my head. Yeah, see, I have like my spaces are like just full of stuff and just disorganized chaos, and it really stresses me out so much. We need some like storage solutions and actually go through all the stuff, but it's having the time and the energy as well to go through it all when there's always stuff to do. Other stuff to do, I mean. We just need to prioritize it. So, anyway. Day 5 for Tom Benjamin's Halloween Tarot Challenge is Trick. How are you fooling yourself? Oof, well that is... Again, like, what did day 2 was Scarecrow, what do you protect? And that was pretty ouchy as well. Ghost, what do you cling to? That was pretty ouchy. Yesterday's one was quite nice. But yeah, it's like... Some of them are like gnarly. That makes sense though, right? Because Tom Benjamin is all about like not... what's going on here? Oh, 2 of my cards were in the wrong way. How did that happen? Weird. But yeah, I'm not surprised that Tom's got some like sort of crunchy, gnarly prompts that can become crunchy and gnarly. I've been really enjoying developing. It doesn't really show up again too much, but I've got a nice bit of a riffle shuffler's bow going on here. So does anyone want to pull a card along with me? It doesn't have to be a spooky deck. What are the decks closest to you? I mean, we're tarot readers. There's usually a deck close by, right? Hi, Natalie. Lovely to see you. Trick, didn't you just have a bite off your treat, Kelly? I did indeed, Marsha. So yeah, I've been really enjoying like riffle shuffling this one. It's because it's that US Games card stock, which is always very durable but flexible, not too glossy, not too matte. Out of all the like mass market deck producers, I think US Games is probably my favorite. So yeah, if you want to play along, the prompt is Trick. How are you fooling yourself? So how am I fooling myself? This is going to be like super crunchy and like vulnerable. God, I do love a good riffle shuffle. I'm riffle shuffling it on my lap because my desk is so high and my chair isn't high enough, and I'm already sitting on a cushion, that I can't like get my arms in the position. So I usually end up just doing it on my lap, honestly. You would love to riffle shuffle. Can you not? Do you struggle, Rona? Or is it just with certain decks? Oh my God. Simon of the Hermit's Cave trying to teach him to riffle shuffle was I still don't think he's got the hang of it. I think he gave up. But yeah, it was funny. It was like trying to get him to cut straight lines when we were trimming decks. And I was like, just use these practice cards. Here, just cut along this line. And it was like, whoa. And I'm like, okay, I trim, you edge. It was pretty impressive. Scott loves to riffle shuffle. I love to riffle shuffle. I will sit here playing D&D on a Wednesday evening online, and I mute my mic so as not to irritate people. And just shuffle away. That, or I do hand sewing, or I doodle. Those are like the three main things I do to keep myself so I can concentrate on the game, if that makes sense. I can't do it. You do a demo. I've done it before. It's harder for me to do because I've got I need to stand up really because my desk is too high. But I literally just, so you just do that. And some people will turn it on its side and then shove them together. And again, like if I'm sitting down, I usually straighten them out on my boobs. But if not, I just straighten it up on the table. And then you can bridge it. I don't know if people can see that okay. Maybe if I put a mat down or a cloth, would that be a bit better? Might be able to see the cards against it a bit better. You want to make sure, unless you're using reversals, you want to make sure that your cards are obviously facing the same way when you riffle shuffle, otherwise you're going to be shuffling in. But yes, the way I do it is I just whoop, and then I make sure that I'm turning them both that way, because then you can see the titles facing the same way, that way. You want to give them a little bit of a think. You want to get them together, and then you just want to do the ends. But it depends. Sometimes I don't quite judge it correctly. But I think people try to shuffle in too much. They try to get too close, and they do this, and it's like really like too far down. So, or some people will just do the edges. They'll do this. They'll just do the very ends, and then they struggle to like. I mean, even then you can still get them together really, but it can be, depending on the size of the deck, it can be tricky, right? But I tend to sort of go about a quarter of the way down, and then you can get a good whee. There we go. Riffle shuffle my way, do it at the corners, but even my crooked way to the corners, I can do it if the deck is larger. I do corners, and I've seen Vincent Patici. He does like on the corners as well, which is very. My sister used to be a croupier, and she can do that, so I can kind of do that. If I'm using the Thoth Deluxe, which is a larger deck, or if I'm using the Next World Tarot, which is even larger than that, then I will do. Let me just take out the extra card. I will do side shuffle as well. So I'll do, there's this kind of side shuffle. It's literally, and then you just, because when I first was trying to shuffle large decks, I was trying to shuffle them on the corners, but I wasn't quite getting it right, and I still struggled due to the size of the deck. So I think it was Anna over Astral Lady Tarot, maybe. Who was it? And someone did it just like this, and I was like, oh my god, that's so much easier, because you don't need to get your hands around the whole length of the deck. You just need to get it around the width. And so it's just, ta-da! You can't bridge it, obviously, because it's the way it's thinged. The way it's thinged. Icon has words. Me so articulate, right? Oh my god. I'm just, my brain today, a bit fried. I'm so articulate. Weekend has words. Anyway. I'll practice. Yeah, it's just practice. That's all it is, honestly. It's just try and try and try. But I find it really relaxing once you get the hang of it. Although if you do it, you have to sort of make peace with the fact that you'll probably end up with a bit of a bend in your deck. I personally love this. Other people like it really stresses them out. I know Chris at Elemental Cartomancy has said like you can shuffle the deck the other way with the cards facing up. I've tried that and it's actually messed a couple of my decks up a little bit. And I had to then riffle shuffle them back the usual way that I do just to get the bow back in them because they didn't like being bent the other way. See, I just go with it. It's just cards. It's fine. It's just bits of card. They can handle it. Although some people really, really despise riffle shuffling. They're like, it's not a casino. Oh, you're like, why are you being so rough with your deck? They're like precious. Or I don't know why I'm doing that stupid voice again. Do you know when people are like just criticizing something that you do because they don't like it? Why am I putting this away? I'm meant to be pulling a card. Pay attention, Kelly. But yeah. Yeah, some people really don't like riffle shuffling, and some people get actively offended by it. Like I riffle shuffle my Pagan Otherworlds. I riffle shuffle like my Bubba Studios decks get riffle shuffled. Like whether it is if I can riffle shuffle it, that is like there are decks that I cannot riffle shuffle. Le Corte de Toroki, which is really long and thin and very, very thick, is never going to riffle shuffle for me. I've never seen anyone that can riffle shuffle that. But if I can riffle shuffle it, I will. I don't care whether it was an 80-pound deck, or they don't really have many of those, or a 5-pound deck. I'm not doing readings today, I'm afraid. I need to drink some tea before it goes cold. I love seeing an ice bend in my decks. Yay, Marsha, to the riffle shuffler's bow. Hello, Robin. Lovely to see you, my dear. Willkommen, mein Liebchen. So yeah, I've just been sitting here. I just realised I need to move my bits out. I've been making little earrings, spooky earrings. You all wiped me out. You all cleared me out of my my little heart earrings and ghost accessories of the shop update, which was really amazing. Thank you. All the pouches went. There was one pouch left when I went to bed on Friday night, and I woke up in the morning and it had been sold as well. So thank you to those of you that purchased. I do have more coming on Friday. Oh shit, I nearly dropped the whole deck. Whew, well, half the deck. Okay, anyway, so if anyone wants to grab a deck and play along, Robin, we're doing the Tom Benjamin's Halloween Icon Tarot Suite Challenge. And today is obviously day 5, and we're doing Trick, How Are You Fooling Yourself? And I'm just going to pull one card for this. This is weird. I actually have found that this has been a challenge for me in the sense that I usually pull at least 3 cards for a question or a prompt when I'm doing tarot journaling, for example. So to just pull one card like I used to, I'm like, wow, I used to just pull one card. This is harder. And so I really do fall in the line of, if you're learning, fall on the sort of the thing of the fall on the thing of the thing. I really am of that belief that if you are trying to learn tarot, 3 cards is better than 1 when you're learning, because you've got something to interact. It's the same with Lenormand. As soon as you start pairing cards, it starts to make more sense than just pulling one card, because you generally, as a rule, cards are read together, right? It's they communicate with one another. It's a language. It's like just pulling a letter out of an alphabet and going, your letter for today is J. And you'd be like, well, what can I do with that? Like, you want a few more letters to be able to maybe make a word, like Scrabble, right? If you were just playing Scrabble with one word, one letter, it'd be a very long game if you're just pulling one letter at a time. Did that make sense? Anyway, let's pull the card. So here we go, back to the straightening up on the boobs. Oh, I need to do it in my lap, like I said, because this is why I'm like this all the time on my desk, because my desk is too high. And my body, I have a very short torso. Short so. I thought, oh my God, I thought that box was Nobby for a second. I was like, oh, she's come back upstairs. No, because she's not that much bigger than that box, and it's kind of the same color as her. Oh my God, I can tell I'm getting old. My eyes are going. My prescription is like 3.5 years old now. I'm overdue, but I won't be going and getting a new prescription until this pandemic is not raging through us. It's really weird because people in the UK seem to have gotten back to normal, yet we have like massively higher case numbers than anywhere else in like mainland Europe. And we have like 1,000 children being hospitalized a month and all sorts of stuff. It's raging in schools. And they're just like, carry on as usual. No need to wear masks. It's just really stressful. Short torso but long legs. Yeah, do you know what, Rona? My legs are only like 1.5, 2 inches shorter than my husband. My husband is at 5'11". I am 5'2". So the fact that that's how long my legs are. Whenever I struggle to buy trousers for myself because I have big hips, a small waist, and then long legs for my height. It's the thing. I think I've got something like 31-inch legs, but I'm 5'2", which apparently I should buy. Most people around my height have about 28-inch legs. My legs are like 3 inches longer than average. So weird. Playing along. What am I doing? Just pulling a card. Yeah, just pulling a card, Robin. So you're just going to pull. You can pull 3 if you like. Tom Benjamin himself has been pulling 3 cards per prompt, but I'm challenging myself to be old school and try and pull 1 card per prompt. And I'm actually finding it really difficult because I've gotten so used to pulling 3. So yeah, it is more. I'm like, let's make this more of a challenge. So trick. How are you fooling yourself? How am I fooling myself? Dare I overhand shuffle on screen? It always ends badly. It always ends with cards flying everywhere. Whoop. I'm like, do I do it this way? And then I'm like, is it easier to do it side on? Because I try to get a little bit of overhand. See, sometimes that's easier. Depends on the size of the deck, I guess. Like, I have to shuffle my Jean Noblet like this because it's not... Well, I really struggle to riffle shuffle it. I've seen Tom Benjamin riffle shuffling it like a demon, but I think he's got stronger hands than me. I'm worried because the card stock's quite thick and the deck's quite small that I might actually actively bend it, but maybe I just need to just keep going with it and it'll soften up maybe. But I shuffle it sideways like this. Oh my God, I pulled my significator, 3 of imps. There we go. My hubby is 6'4", I'm 5'2". We are sitting the same. No way. Do you have a really long torso, Rona? Or does he have a really short one? That's really cool, Robin. How are you fooling yourself? You're fooling yourself with 3 of imps. That's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna. And also, I always feel like I'm changing up how I pull a card. So I do my riffle shuffling, I do my overhand shuffling, and usually I'll split the deck and take the card that's on the bottom of the top of the bottom pile. But for this challenge, for some reason, I've been like getting to the overhand bit, feeling like it's done, and then like not even placing it down, but just like going through until it till it feels right. Ooh, how do I fool myself? The 7 of Ghosts. I already know what this is. Tarot is such a way of calling us out. It is unbelievable. For me, and I've spoken about this before. Hi, Kaz. You pulled the Emperor. Oh, he has really long legs and a short torso, says Rona. Yeah, for me, let's just show the card. So the 7 of Ghosts, which would be the 7 of Cups if you had a Smithwaite. Sorry for those of you who are like, what the fuck does the ghost stand for? I've spoken about this before on my channel. I'm very much of one of those people that wants to do all the things, and really I just need to pick like 1 or 2 things and just do them. The problem comes when I get like decision fatigue or like overwhelm, because there's so many things I want to do and I can't decide which one I want to do, and then I end up doing nothing. Because I'm like, and also, you know, fooling myself and thinking that I can do everything. Like, what's that saying? You can do anything but not everything. And sometimes I'm like, I can do everything. I can get this flat sorted out and sort out all my medical stuff and get through that and run a small business and, you know, keep the flat tidy with my husband and, you know, maintain social stuff online whilst this pandemic is going on. And sometimes it's just too much. Like, I pushed myself. Like, I was in quite a lot of pain last month. I had medical appointments. I had a lot of stuff going on. Mentally, I was still struggling a bit. It wasn't as bad as August, but I had to push through all of that to get my Halloween collection done. And I still didn't get as much done as I wanted. I didn't get everything I planned done. And my shop went live on Friday night. And come Saturday morning, I was so wiped out that I just had to sleep. I was in bed for the weekend. I managed to do a few chores around the house on Saturday morning. I just pushed myself to get a few bits done. My husband did the rest, and I just slept because my body just couldn't handle it. Hi, Michelle. You're right. Queen of Pentacles. So how would you think that that's you fooling yourself? So me fooling myself is that I think that I can do all the things, and I can't. I have to accept my limitations, and that's going to be different for everyone, right? I live in a chronically ill body with a wonky brain, a wonky mind, and my limit on what I can do is going to be less than a lot of people I know. It's also going to be more than some people that I know. So it's just about accepting that, listening to my body again. That seems to be a thing that keeps coming up in my cards as well, is like listening to my body, trying not to do everything, you know, not being kinder to myself. Don't do all the things. Yeah, but sometimes it's difficult, isn't it, Rona, to not do all the things. I need to leave this card out. Do you know what I still don't have as a tarot reader and a lover of tarot? I don't have a single like actual card holder. I bought this like phone stand to be a card holder, but then I actually ended up just using it as a phone stand for what it's actually meant for, because it's got a really wide, like, it's not actually that good as a card holder. So yeah, I'm like, I should get a card holder. Maybe I should put one on my my Christmas wish list. So I'm going to put, now I can put the rest of the deck away. And actually I will have a look at because I was looking at the guidebook earlier, let's look at the 7 of Ghosts in the guidebook and see that ghost. Here we go. 7. An overactive imagination, tick. Idle dreams, fucking tick. Building castles in the air, mega tick. Imagined success, tick. Self-deception, tick. What are you tricking yourself about? And I literally get self-deception in the book, self-defection. So yeah, tarot's so canny, isn't it? So where am I doing my extra? I like to keep my extra cards. Usually, if I'm putting it back in, I will eventually make a box for this. I'm also waiting to see if some of my tarot pouches don't sell, then I'll whatever one. There might be a couple left, and I can pick one to put this deck in. I'm not making more Halloween pouches right now. Oh. So yeah, and then what I do, sorry, I was showing how I put it in. I put the book in between the extra cards. I mean, really, once this has got a proper home, a pouch or whatever, these will become bookmark cards in my bookmark card stash. Let's just pop that. Oh, tuck box rage. Oh, there we go. Went in. It's fine. It went in. It weren't too bad. So yeah, should we see what everyone else have got? Yeah, I know. I keep telling myself. I'm 6'4" as well. When sitting same height as everyone else as well. Daddy long legs without the daddy part. That's funny. Cool. Wow, I've been on for nearly 40 minutes already. Waffle, waffle. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was mixing decks. Now, I will mix decks in the sense that I will, and I have tried mixing decks in the past, but I haven't done it for a really, really long time. I remember when Kellyanne Maddox did that patchwork spread where she used like loads of different decks and pulled loads of different cards and made this like literal like patchwork of cards on her bedroom floor or living room floor, on the floor. But that's a little bit too chaotic for me. And I think I've done readings in the past where there's like two parts to a question, or there's like the higher self and the lower self, and you use a lighter deck and a lower deck. But it's not something I've done for a while. And usually when I'm mixing decks, I'm mixing tarot, Lenormand, and oracle, as in like I'll do a tarot reading and then pull Lenormand or oracle is like an overall, or some Lenormand cards to clarify like a specific part of a reading, because it's quite, Lenormand's very practical and down to earth and very sort of nitty gritty. If I don't have a question and I just feel like pulling cards, pulling an oracle deck, pulling an oracle card is a really good way to get a theme. You can also do that with a tarot deck. You can pull out a deck, shuffle it, pull a card, and that's like is the anchor for your reading, right? Like it's what the reading is about or the theme or whatever. So I would like, let me just grab my little, I have to be careful because my back hurts. My little tarot chest, my tarot, it's not a chest really, is it? It's like a little case. What do you call it? Like a briefcase type thing. Oh my God, can you tell I live for spooky season? Because I've got like zombie bears. I've got, where is it? Little owl with a potion. So yeah, try to say, there we go. Anyway, distracting myself. So yeah, so the decks that go really well together at the moment for spooky season is, you know, Deviant Moon or the Triomphe de la Luna, all Patrick Valenza decks. And then, you know, Oracle and Black Enchantment is a really fun one to pull, like at the end of a reading. And then I've got my Spooktacular Lenormand. This was gifted to me. Actually, I did trade pouches. I'm really bad at accepting gifts. So I'm always like, let me make you a pouch or two. I don't know. I feel weird people like saying what they want to give me things. I'm like, but why? I'm a dickhead with a laptop. I don't, you know. I always feel better if I do a little trade for things. But yeah, this Spectacular Lenormand is great. This is by Wandering Oracle, and it's out of print, but it's the same people that put out the Marshmallow Marseille and the Tarot Seren. I'm ever so lucky to have a copy of this. I bloody love this Lenormand. Have I ever shown this I might have done a video about this. But yeah, these three are really fun together. I've used in the past for spooky season. Obviously the Halloween Tarot and the Mildred Payne, because I would use this. This is the one that I had for a few years, this mini one. So this mini one with my Mildred Payne is just the cutest. Where's my Mildred Payne? Like, because this is so easy to chuck in a bag when I was going out and about because they're so small. So I'd be like, and then the good thing about the Mildred Payne is you can use it as an oracle or you can use it as a Lenormand. So it's like it does like double duty. But yeah, so I think a lot of us will do that. We'll combine systems, but how many people regularly combine tarot decks in a reading? Even if you've got a spread where it doesn't specifically ask for you to use two decks, maybe you feel like you want to use two decks. I think also the reason I've fallen out of that practice is because I don't do positional spreads so much anymore. I'm more of a freestyle reader. So for me, although there's a tarot reader that I follow on Twitter called Katie Swallow, and she does a lot of freestyle reading, and she recently, like last week or at the weekend, posted a photo of a reading that she had done for herself, and she'd like, it's like really like haphazard, loads of cards down on the bed or the table, and it's got like at least 3 different decks in it. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me go over into Twitter and I'll see if I can find the post, because it's a really interesting, and she's a professional reader and medium, I believe. Let's look up Katie Swallow. She's really lovely. I really enjoy following her. There she is. Let me see if I can find it in her photos. See if I can find it. October 4th. Maybe it was the weekend. No. Sorry, it's probably really boring going through all these. Wow, when was the reading? Must have been last week. I'm gonna have to scroll through it rather than through her pictures. But yeah, I was wondering then, if you're combining tarot decks, are you combining decks that have a similar feel? Like, are you combining just spooky decks because it's spooky season, or like I said earlier, are you combining like a dark deck and a light deck, or maybe a grown-up deck and a deck that speaks to your inner child or your inner children, because you want that contrast of voices? Maybe, I don't know. Where's the bloody spread? All right, I can't find it. Where the hell is the post? I cannot find it. Oh my god, it was obviously longer ago. More long ago than I remember. Can I have words? No, I cannot find it. How annoying. It was a really cool, like, peek into someone's like practice. And I cannot find it. Okay. Oh no, I was literally just about to give up. Oh my god. And then, or was it a reading for someone else? I can see the Lunar Soul, the Everyday Tarot. Was it for herself? Here we go. I found it. Phew, it was, when was it? When did she post it? She posted it on the 1st of October. She's quite a prolific poster, so there we go, for those of you. Let's have a look at what folks are saying in the chat. The Emperor, although your dreams are valid and sound, they still need guidelines and organization. Structure and organization aren't the first thing to excite you about a dream. No, indeed not. And which deck did you use, Kaz? Candy does a video pairings with Oracle and Tarot decks. That's true, yeah. She does. Toadstool, my 3 of Imps is surrounded by the 6 of Bats and the Page of Bats. It's like I've pushed the boat out, but I haven't yet left the shore. That's interesting, because obviously the 3 of Imps, you're looking out to the sea, usually in the Smith Waite. You've got, the 6 of Bats getting ready to cross the water, but the Page is that sort of, again, like Page becomes a beginning again, like the Ace. Interesting. Sorry, I'm just looking for a nail file because I just feel like I've just caught the edge of my nail, and if I don't file it, it'll tear it off at a really uncomfortable. You know what I mean? You know, when you get a little bit of a thing, and then you're like, oh, I'll deal with that later, and then you don't, and then a big chunk of your nail rips off, and then it's ouchy. No one wants ouchy. Well, it depends on the context, I guess. So I'm so tempted to pull out my Halloween tarot in a tin now. Do it, Masha. Seems like it would be fun to use the full-size Halloween paired with the tin size on top and see the relationships. Yeah, like doing using a larger Lenormand, a standard size Lenormand and a mini Lenormand, or 2 different size Lenormand decks, so that you can do, you know, when you do a grand tableau and you have all the houses, so you lay out the larger size tarot deck, Oracle Lenormand deck, out in the houses, and then you put your actual reading on top as like an aide-memoire. Obviously, you can also get the spread cloths, the Lenormand spread cloths that have the houses printed on it for you for the grand tableau, which is pretty cool. Did I see an Orshi pop in? Hi, Orshi. Lovely to see you. Welcome. Late to the party, use the latest deck, Angel Tarot cards. Angel Tarot cards? Is that the Doreen Virtue one? The Radley Valentine one. Waiting for Oak, Ash and Thorn to get here. Oh, lovely. Nice. So yeah, so I'm just like, combining decks could be fun within a reading, but like, or can be fun in a reading. But what decks do you like to combine, or do you have go-to decks that you like to combine? Or you like combining, so I'm bending down to my tarot box, combining a whatchamacallit, a Pip deck or a Marseille deck with a Smith-Waite deck. Or, you know what I've not done before, like a reading where you use a Marseille, like a true Marseille, a Smith-Waite and the Thoth, and like doing the same reading, pulling the initial cards and then pulling the same cards in the other decks, and then seeing if you read them differently. Because some people say tarot's tarot, and I've spoken about this in live chat before, and they will read any deck the same, it doesn't matter. Whereas for me, I definitely read Marseille a bit differently to the way I read Smith-Waite. And then I am, to a certain extent, with situational decks like the Smith-Waite, or other situational decks, for example the Zombie Tarot, I'm staring at that right now, or the Deviant Moon, or the Sasarai Beto, or whatever. I'm influenced by the image, right? Like, otherwise, why are you having different art? Why have different art if you're just going to read it the same? Really want the Badass Tarot, but it's $280 with postage. Holy hell balls. That's banana pancakes. I never combine decks, but I have here the Halloween with the Enchanted Lenormand. It's fun. I've ordered the Liminal Spirits Oracle deck by Laura Temple Zakharov. Ooh, cool. I haven't had a proper look at the deck that she's got coming out. Is it out already? I like her, Laura Temple Zakharov. Tempest Zakharov, sorry. That's the whole new video idea at Kelly Bear. I'd love to see Rider-Waite-Smith, Tarot Marseille and Thoth in one reading side by side. Yeah, I'm not confident enough with the Thoth yet, and I haven't been like, I went really hard for it earlier in the year, and then I've sort of trailed off because I've really been like using quite a bit of like Smith-Waite or like situational decks. I've spoken a lot about using the Melanated Classic, using the Numinous. Didn't get as much love for the Sasarai Beto this year, and that was deliberate because I always end up pulling that one as well, and it's always in my top favourites since I've had it, my top fives. And I made a conscious decision to not always pull the same decks. I also put away my beloved Magical Forest for a while in my sort of box over there, because I was always pulling this one, but it's back out again because it's my baby. So yeah, you could do try different Pip decks, because the Antique Anatomy Tarot is art-wise is very different than a classic Marseille. So that's interesting. But yeah, I was just thinking, because I was like, how do I use all of these spooky decks? And one of them, like I said, is using the different deck every 5 days for the tarot challenge, but also like combining them could be fun. And I've lost the train of I've lost the thread of my thought. There was something else I was going to follow on for that, and then it just sort of flew away out of my head. I got distracted by what I was looking at over there. My brain. Wow, I've been on for bloody hell nearly an hour, folks. Oh, that's on the turn. Hang on. But yeah, I thought like doing a reading with just spooky decks could be fun, Interesting that my Significator card got paired with the anchor. How appropriate, right? Did I ever do a video about the Spooktacular Lenormand? I can't remember what even is time. I cannot remember a lot of things these days. Let's just have a look. I'm just going to see Spooktacular. Spooktacular. Nope. Lenormand. Lenormand. Mildred Payne. Modernizing Lenormand. Monster Lenormand. Deck unboxing. Live chat. That was from 4 months ago. Tara Surin. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Look at her butt. So yeah, I never did a walkthrough of the Spooktacular Lenormand. I think the reason I didn't, now that I'm thinking about it, is that because it's out of print, people will be like, well, I can't get a hold of it. I don't know. I always do that stupid voice when I'm like pretending to be someone who's complaining about something. I even do it for myself when I like reiterate me complaining about something. I do that stupid voice, even though I didn't speak like that at the time when I was complaining about it. The Redley Valentine's Angel only want to have a few decks focusing on what will speak to querents in the future. That's cool. You got the Magical Forest, Rona. Oh, yay! Are you going to trim it because it's or is there a new version of that where it doesn't have all the borders? Because I feel really like offended. I don't really feel offended, but I'm like confused that they like did reprintings of like I think the Chicoli and the Happy Tarot with the new like border type system without all the multiple languages, but I haven't seen that they've done it for the Magical Forest, because if they do that for the Magical Forest, I would probably pick up a spare copy. But yeah, I put my Thoth studies to the side, but Nina of Shuffle Tower inspired me over the weekend to get back into Thoth. I may even begin to scribble on mine. Ooh, controversial. I don't think I'd want to scribble on my my giant one. Well, I've only got this one. I just really like it. I never thought I was going to like it as much as I did when I started working with it. I've been wanting the Enchanted Forest, but don't know if... Oh, you meant the Magical Forest. Well, you don't have to trim it, obviously, but yeah, it's got borders. See, why do they not like update it? I've seen a Laura pop in. Hi, Laura, and a Deanne. Hello, Deanne. Lovely to see you. Has anyone seen the Millennium Thoth deck? Yeah, I really don't like it. I really don't like it at all. It's very... Let me see if I can find images of it so people can see. Millennium Thoth. Okay. It's very... what's the word? It has that... I'm not a fan of that overly digital... I mean, I say this, and I do have the Tarot Illuminati, which I affectionately refer to as Visual Vomit. But I've just never... It's just so... Oh, look, lots of skinny, hot white people. And I'm just like... It just doesn't really... I don't know. You know? So hopefully that link will show you some images of what I mean. But it's got this very like digital, what's his name? Ciro Marchetti kind of vibe. And it's not my bag, baby. And if it's other people's bag, that is absolutely fine. No shade here. On saying that though, when I see Oracle decks like that, you know, the ones like the Colette Baron Reed ones and the Kyle Gray ones, and they're all very, very digital, plastic looking, overly like hot white people. I'm always like, I don't know, I find them very shallow and plasticky, and they get churned out very quickly, and it just sort of bugs me. I don't know. I mean, I try not to be snobby about art, but as someone who's trained in art and design, like professionally, I'm going to have opinions, you know. But, you know, ultimately, if that's what people like, it doesn't matter. It's just not my bag. Cold and flat, says Kaz. Yeah, that's how it feels for me. Marcia says, yes, out of all the Thoth decks, the giant one is my favourite of all, and I have tiny hands and don't like large cards. Right? Like I showed earlier, like side shuffling it is easy. And because it's US games, the card stock's really nice. Works a treat. So I've got a little bit of time before I have to go and make some Lunchables. She says, still not finishing her 11s. Does anyone want to have a little look at the Spooktacular Little Mom? It's not in order because I've been using it. It's on that lovely linen cardstock. We all have our tastes. I don't like sex and glamour in my decks. Figures that look like they've stepped out of Glamour magazine. I don't mind sex and glamour in decks. I mean, I guess I've got the L'Éphémère Erotique, I guess, is a sexy deck. And I don't mind glamour. It's just the kind of what I consider glamour is different to what other people consider glamour. You know, taste is subjective, I guess, to an extent, maybe. I thought another good card deck combination, if you're trying to do like a light dark reading, would be like a classic Smith-Waite, like the Centennial, and then the Darkness of Light Tarot, because that's basically a Smith-Waite, but you know, dark. Just check I've not missed any chats. Oh yeah, Rona, are you going to trim your magical forest? So let's see. I'm going to just show some of the cards that I think make funny diversions from the for the Spooktacular. So like the woman, we've got 2 women and 2 men cards, which is better than most decks. Obviously, it'd be nice if we had some sort of genderqueer types looking people in there. The Crossroads has a scarecrow. Oh my god. I don't know if it's too... Oh my god. Come back here, light. Where do you think you're going? I don't know if it's too shiny. Let's try them. You don't mind the borders. Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I kept the borders for about a year on mine, and then they were just, I don't know, for some reason they started annoying me. So we got a little scarecrow. And what else? The book looks like the book from, can you see, with the eye from Hocus Pocus. And I love that it's still got like the playing card inserts. Look at this woman with her fabulous like spiderweb shawl. How cool is that? The tower is obviously a spooky tower with bats around it. And it's very easy to like one of the gentlemen is a pirate. Yes, pirates. And the bouquet is in a pumpkin head. In a jack-o'-lantern. The ship has a kraken pulling it down. And then the fish are like little underwater, you know, bioluminescent fish, which I love because they are kind of spooky looking, some of them. Let's see. The clouds are kind of like ghostly. This is the Spooktacular Lenormand by Wandering Oracle, who made the Marshmallow Marseille and the Tower of Siren, but it is out of print, which is why I've usually like avoided making a full video about it. But it comes in this brilliant like box. And I always toyed with the idea of recreating this in fabric, and you know, but oh my god, the work to like hand embroider or even machine embroider would be too much. And then I'm like, no. Hi, Witch Baby Farmer. Kraken rum is good. Yeah, I like Kraken rum. We've got the bear is carving a pumpkin. That will be me at the end of the month. Got the tree, sun, snake. Trying to find. Look, the moon cracks me up. Can you see the werewolf in mid-transformation? Howling at the moon. So cute. Coffin. The heart is an anatomical heart. in a case. I like to think that this is Percy Shelley's heart, and it's being kept in Mary Shelley. That's being kept in Mary Shelley's desk drawer. That's my headcanon for that card. The stork is funny because there is can you see like a creature from the Black Lagoon type character, and the little squiddy baby is being delivered to them. It's so fun. Here's another gentleman looking like a vampire. The house is obviously a haunted house, and you can see little ghosties flying up out of it. Isn't it just enchanting? Look at the rider. Come on. Isn't that cool? Sleepy Hollow, anyone? Headless Horseman. The child just has a little kid trying to... There's the apples on the string, and she's trying to eat them with her hands behind her back. I believe this is the garden, which is like a graveyard. The birds are crows. A murder of crows. The dog is like Frankenweenie. Can you see? The fox is playing trick or treat because, of course, ready to knock with their little pumpkin basket. And then we have a skeleton key. So yeah, well, I ended up showing loads of this deck. I didn't show all of the cards, but yeah, the rider's great, isn't it? Percy Shelley was a bit of an arse, wasn't he? Oh my God, Percy Shelley was, I would say he was an utter dickhole, quite frankly. Like when I did the research for the Literary Witches project last year for Mary Shelley, oh my God, that was a year ago that I was reading Frankenstein and researching Mary Shelley. That's gone really quickly. But yeah, like I dug quite deep, and the stuff that I like managed to dredge up about Percy was like, wow, she being Mary really went through the ringer as well. Poor woman. I think she was best off shot of him, really, when he carked it, when he drowned. Him and Byron. There's a movie about their relationship. Yeah, there is. I've not watched it though. Yeah, she definitely went through it. 5 a.m. I was ready for 6 a.m., but that was my bad, forgetting about our daylight savings. What was that? I even like seeing walkthroughs of out of print decks. Eventually one finds them on eBay or elsewhere. Yeah, I know, but some people actively complain and were like, this was a pointless video. There, I'm doing that voice again. The complaining was, this was a pointless video. Why I can't buy it. So you're just basically showing off that you have an out of print deck. I like to know out of print stuff so I can keep an eye out on secondhand sales. Yeah, I guess. They were the bad boys of the time. They were indeed the bad boys of the time. They were indeed. So yeah, so that's the Spooktacular. But I thought before I go, because I have been on for a while now, and I'm going to go make some Lunchables to finish my snack first. I've taken ages to eat. That I could pull a card from the Oracle of Black Enchantment. Whenever I use this deck, I have to pull up the guidebook, the file on my computer, but it's in my external hard drive. I haven't saved it to my actual laptop, which I should probably do. I'll probably do that after this video. And so if my external hard drive isn't plugged in, I'm like, and I can't be bothered to like sort through the files and find this, then I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered. I really need to do what I did with my Mildred Payne and actively make a separate book. And I remember when I did my Mildred Payne one, I was like, I'm going to do the Oracle of Black Enchantment next. Did I fuck? this is the thing. I go, oh, shiny, and I go on to a different project, and then I forget because object impermanence. So yeah, I did this book for the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle, where I this is a project I did a while ago, maybe 2 years ago now, I don't know, but I wrote down all the dooblies, the meanings, and then I did like a little fold out thing with a spread and all that jizz, right? And yeah, I think because this was quite a lot of work, this was over the space of several days, and then I was like, oh, I'll do it eventually for this one, and then I just never got around to it. Katie's here and Anne's here. Hello, lovely to see you both. Waiting for your premiere. Oh, Katie, you've got a premiere. When is that? Let me go onto the YouTubes and check out. Meow, meow, meow. Set reminder. Where is that for? Oh, the favorites one. Favorite Tarrant or blah, blah. Can I speak? At 1 p.m. Oh, my time. Oh no, I'm going to be making Lunchables. That's all right. I just realised I can take you with me into my kitchen, Katie. So I will endeavour to get my arse off of here before then. And I need to anyway, because I need to start making some lunch, as I've just said. But yeah, I really need to make and I'm loath to just write it in a regular notebook with the meanings, because I like the aesthetic. I made it. This was the second attempt at this. I made one and it was a bit shoddy, and I sort of rushed it. And I was like, no, take the time to do it properly. And I'm so pleased with it. But it was a lot of work. Anyway, should we pull one of these dooblies? Cards, Kelly. They're cards. I'm just going to put. Oh, the rain has started. I was wondering when that was going to roll in. Oh, a bit cold as well. I just realised. Oh God, I need to drop the whole deck on the floor. Let's just push this back a bit. It's still in the way from when I was showing the riffle shuffling. I usually just overhand this, but I've just realised I should probably give a side shuffle a go on this one, shouldn't I? Laura says, I made a guidebook for one Oracle deck, but yeah, totally just went with the tiny regular notebook. Yeah, the whatchamacallit, the what's the word I'm looking for? The wanky side of me is it must be a it must be a hang on. So yeah, I would have thought there were printouts for Patrick Phillip. Well, there's a document, and I printed one out for Simon and took it with me when I visited him ages ago, 3 years ago. And then I never printed one out for myself because I was like, I'll get round to it. And I always just pulled it up on my computer because I like making life hard for myself, clearly. And was like, I was like, if I print it out, this is my thinking, right? I was like, if I print a copy out for myself, I will always rely on that, and I'll never get round to making the fancy one. So if I don't print it out and I have to always find this file on my computer, and since my computer died last year, I've got it, thankfully I had it backed up on there. So now I have to have this plugged in. Then that will entice me. I'll be like, oh, this is a pain in the bum. I need to make an actual notebook, but it hasn't done that. I've had this deck over 3 years. What is wrong with me? This is the thing. I have project ideas, and I might not get them finished quickly, or I might not start them straight away, but I do get around to it in the end, eventually, at some point. I just know I'll die with so many unfinished projects. Ooh! Ooh! Look at that. I've never tried that before. Why did I not try this since I discovered the side shuffle for the big thoth? Do you want to have a look? It works just the same. It doesn't quite bridge together. Well, that was exciting. It's the little things, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Well, that's changed things. That's made me so happy. I can riffle shuffle it because this is like trying to like, it's not really the one for me. Like I will do some overhand shuffling, but the lion's share, the majority of my shuffling, I like to get done with a good old riffle. So that's just you know. You turned your head for 2 seconds. What's happened, Scott? I love the artwork, the woodblock style artwork. Masha's yeah, inspiring people to get on the Marseille train. That's awesome. Welcome to the Marseille wagon. And what have you purchased a Marseille deck or two? And if so, what have you opted for? Oh, trolls, yeah, I know. Some people just don't have anything better to do with their time than like randomly search for people that are alive and post stupid shit. I feel a bit sorry for them, really. Oh my god. Ugh, this has made me inordinately excited. Okay, so I am just going to pull a card. I'm not going to ask a question. I'm just going to pull a card and I'm going to read from the guidebook that I've got pulled. I pre-pulled it up onto my computer. I was prepared this time. You just got the Triumphi. Nice. Excellent. I love the messages this deck has to offer, says Anne. It's fun, isn't it? It's just so much fun. This deck tickles my pickle. It's very funny. And I think some people don't like it because it is dark, but I enjoy a bit of dark humor, so it's all good. Triumphi della Luna is such a wonderful deck. It is indeed. It's definitely up there with one of my favorite, like with my favorite sort of Marseille-esque, Pip-esque decks for sure. Again, another darkly funny deck. Just Patrick Valenza all over. He's just brilliant, isn't he? There's so many of his decks I don't have though. Like I had to sort of, because of the whole situation with, you know, buying from the States, I've unfortunately had to sort of nix getting the decks. It really sucks. It is what it is. Okay, so I'm just going to pull a card and it'll be, let's ask, what advice can you give us for today? Some people it'll be the end of the day for you, like Masha and Katie and anyone else that's here from Oz. And for some of us, it's almost lunchtime. Those of you that are stateside, it's still morning. What time is it for you, Orshi? Are you an hour ahead? I believe. I think. I'm not 100% sure. Because obviously our clocks here in the UK, British summertime ends soon. I always feel it's weird that our British summertime doesn't end with like the equinox. Anyway, I'm just enjoying 7:50 a.m. says Laura. Yeah, because you're 5 hours behind, aren't you? 1:50 p.m. Yeah, I thought so. And then what happens when our clocks go back for winter? What will the time difference be then for us, Orshi? Do your clocks change as well, or will we then be 2 hours difference between us? I can never remember. I always thought like mainland Europe was like an hour ahead of us most of the time. It is weird with the equinox, isn't it? Because technically that's when the nights start to draw in, right? It starts to get darker. Well, no, actually tell a lie. It's not. Well, it does, but it's equal. Yeah, it's equal night. And then obviously Yuletide or the winter solstice is the darkest, the longest night and the shortest day. We change it. So it's, yeah, that's what I thought. You're always an hour ahead of us. There's always an hour's difference. That's what I thought. So yeah boy. Okay, anyway, right, I should just shut up and pull a card. So what advice can we take for the day? Shells in Melbourne. See, I'm doing that thing again where I'm like going through. It's like a new thing. Does everyone else like randomly change up how they pull cards over time? Oh, what a bacchanalian scene we have here. This is one of my favorite cards, mostly because of this here. Where is it? Because it flips it around. It confuses me. This ass kissing, ass licking thing. I just love it. We've got dancing. We've got drinking. The moon is not impressed. We've got what appears to be the priestess. We've got like Pan on the pipes. We've got wine, spilling the wine. And I love that the cups are the same style of cups that you get in the Triumphi. We've got all sorts. We've got a bit of tonguing going on over there. They are having a great time. Good for them. There's imps flying through there. This is just literally one of my favorite cards in the entire deck. Okay, I'm going to pull up this. Yeah, like an orgy or a sabbat. And then we find card 52, and I'll read out the meaning for you. Witch's Sabbath. The Witch's Sabbath, yeah. Deep in the heart of the woods, the witches celebrate their Sabbath under a hypnotic moon. The witch queen raises her arms to conjure up darkness while her coven takes part in various forms of forbidden pleasures. Dark meanings, dangerous or promiscuous rituals, debauchery, disregarding all inhibitions, and wild group behavior. And the light meaning is celebration within a group, reunion, a pinnacle event, or crowning achievement. I think this is I know it's only Tuesday, but like, let your hair down a little bit. We always hold on to the weekend, right? We always hold on. We're like, no, I will not have that glass of wine with dinner because it is Tuesday. Have the glass of wine if you want. If you don't drink, that's fine. Maybe it's something else. I don't want to have pudding in the middle of the week. Have the pudding. Enjoy the pudding. You want to go out into the woods and like celebrate naked under the moon with your friends? Celebrate naked under the moon with your friends. Actually, what is the moon's? We're not, hang on. Moon phase. Let me just double check because I know that we were waning. So we had a dark, it's probably not the best time because it's getting darker. We are waning crescent. So we are literally like tomorrow is a new moon. So probably not the best timing, at least here in the UK, because it's going to be quite dark. If you are going to go gallivanting and dancing naked in the woods, make sure that you're bringing like torches or candles or something, lanterns, to make sure you've got sufficient light. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, that was fun. I love that like one of my favorite cards came up from this deck. So let's go. Let's see. Bye for now, Scott, says Deanne Uofsky. Patrick has the best. He has a great sense of humor. He seems like such a sweet guy as well. Very lovely. Yeah, the cat just overseeing everything, right, Rhoda? Over the years, I've collected and worked with several Marseille, Dodal, Noblet, facsimile decks, and loving right now the Rivisaltes. I don't know that one. Triomphe de la Luna and the pretty marshmallow. The marshmallow is great, although its younger sister, the Serene or the Sorine, has taken its place because I love me some like thick mer people. And it's got lots more like skin tones and ages, and there's some beautiful mer beards going on. And it's just really cute and fun. And I mean, the marshmallow is, but it's a bit more like a cute version of a classic Marseille. And the Serene is like Marseille, but make it like hot mermaids. And by hot, I mean like they are hot. They're all sizes and shapes and colors, and I just love that. That makes me so happy. Right, let's just the last little thing. Got to bring a torch while gallivanting. Good reminders. Exactly, Laura. Right, you've got to make sure that you're prepared. You need to have your cloaks close to hand in case you get rumbled. You need to cover up, right? Because indecency laws. And make sure you've got snacks for grounding and water, your libations. You know, if you are able to build a fire, if it's safe for you to build a fire, because some places won't allow you to build fires. Build a fire. Enjoy yourselves. It is delightful, isn't it, Marsha? So anyway, so that is we pulled two cards from two different decks today. That was fun. So yeah, I'm going to go make some lunch and listen to Katie Flowers talk about her favorite decks and things over on her channel. She's premiering in about 4 minutes, and I don't want to eat into her time. So I will be cooking whilst I listen. So I might be able to chat in a little bit, but it depends. I need to be chopping things and stuff. I'm so eloquent. Anyway, I thank you to Katie. I didn't realise you were still here. Go, Kate, go on. Oh, I was going to say, but it's not live. It's a premiere, so you don't have to rush to like get your camera in front of your camera. Thank you. I'm just going to do some pasta, something quick and easy, I think, this afternoon. But yeah, thank you to everyone that joined in for this, whatever this was, as usual. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a lovely rest of your day, however much of it is left. And you know the drill. Stay safe, wear a mask, socially distance, all that jazz. And yeah, ciao.